What's going on, you guys? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Kings Speak, where we have an opportunity to hear men's perspective on stuff like self-mastery, manhood, relationships, emotional intelligence, vulnerability, and all the things that us women are used to talking about all the time. We got our sister circles, we go to spas, retreats, girls' night, all of this stuff, and we go in. And I'm sure you guys do too, but now we're having the conversation together. So today, I have a great friend of mine, and we're talking love, happiness, and all that other stuff. Yes, it's a line from one of my favorite movies, The Brothers. If you've never seen it, it's old school, but check it out. And we just want to have a conversation and share with you guys. We've been in Hollywood, we're grown, we've been dating and all this stuff. My friend Malik Platts, who you're about to meet, is a financial advisor with Taylor Insurance, and he's very great at what he does. And he makes sure that all the stars and celebrities and athletes can actually keep the money that they make as well as grow it. So let's get this man up in here. Drum roll. What's going on, Malik?
Best day of my life. How's everything with you?
You know what? I second that. This is the best day of my life. I'm happy. We're here. Okay.
Exactly.
This is amazing. Well, I miss you in person, friend. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. I think the last time I seen you was at the Mud release in LA for that movie Mud with
Oh, where did you go? I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
I think it was Mud with Mary J. Blige, and it was a movie premiere. I know that.
You know what? Actually, if I remember, hold on, this little tech is being funny. There we go. I got to get to the comments. I remember, I feel like the last time I saw you was the Lexus event.
Oh, no, I seen you after that. I seen you after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, my memory be a little, Well, good. I'm so glad. So this conversation topic came up, which was so perfect. Oh, do you happen to have headphones? Are they in?
I don't. I have them, but they're not in.
Yeah, headphones will help, or else we'll hear clicking. But you and I, we were just, talking and catching up, and we started having a conversation about men and dating and relationships and women and Hollywood. And I know that we've both been through a lot of different things, especially being that, LA is a different beast. I even went to New York for a while. Yeah, that's good. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is kind of, when I started asking the questions, I feel like I was breaking it up into fame and money, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that we hear these days is tied to both. Yes, there's love, but it's like everybody's on the grind and all of this other stuff too. So let's just dive right in. But before we do that, you want to tell people about yourself and what you do?
Man, I don't do too much.
All right.
No,
just a little bit of.
I'm just very humble guy. So no, I work with Zelfi. He's the top African American advisor in the country. We have our reality show coming out, Mind, Body, Money. So that'll be coming out top of the year. On 6 or 7 episodes. So never would have thought I would have been in front of the camera in my life, but that's been fun. So we help celebrities, athletes, entertainers, business owners, professionals with estate planning, tax diversification, using insurance as an asset class, investments, anything in the financial field we can do, helping people with their exit strategies. A lot of people plan to get to the top, but they don't plan for their exit. So that's what we do. But in my journeys, I've worked in music with a huge music manager. I've, worked on studio lots, and I've just gathered a large group of individuals that I could call my friends, that are very high influential in the entertainment world and throughout the entire world, period. So that's what I do. I just, I solve problems. That's what I do.
Yeah, you are the one person that I know that probably networks like I do. Like you go, like your network is strong. I learned and met so many people through you, like when we were working together and stuff. And it was always so much fun. So I appreciate that. And I'm happy to see you and Zelfi still rolling and getting this together.
That's my guy. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, Mind, Body, Money. I'm so here for it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to shock some people.
I believe it, because Zelfi don't play.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, he's serious business.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive into this conversation. I called it Love, Happiness, and all that other stuff. You watch The Brothers? That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the first question, and we'll just, have a conversation about this stuff. But do you find it challenging to connect with women who have genuine intentions, especially when dating in LA? Because I mean, you work in the financial world, you work around a lot of celebrities and stuff like that. And a lot of my guy friends kind of complain that they're running into women who are in it for the wrong reason. So are you having trouble finding women with genuine intentions when it comes to dating?
Well, it's depending on what the guy is looking for, right? So, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So, if you're dating the same type of women, actresses this type or models of this type, and you may be, shallow that you only date certain type of women because you want to walk a red carpet or things of that nature. Me per se, this year I had made it a vow, or would you say a commitment to only date individual women that have something going on with themselves, or that I would rather date a professional. Me personally, I would rather date a professional that they could be in nursing school, they could be a nurse, a teacher, a lawyer. I would rather date within that realm than in the entertainment realm. That's just me. So it's not hard. It's just depending on where you're looking, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. I don't think
Yeah,
it's hard.
yeah, I think that's true. I mean, and it makes sense. It's just, of course, I'm in entertainment, and sometimes I think, like, I wonder, there's so many layers and levels to this. Like, one, the guy has to actually be in tune with what he's looking for. And like you said, not just a pretty face to walk the carpet, blah, 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 or your picker's going to be off, the navigator's off. But sometimes as
Exactly.
a woman, I kind of feel like, well, dang, I'm in entertainment, but I certainly don't roll like whatever the standard a lot of guys are running away from. So like trying
Yeah.
to, do all of the extra whatever, or she's out there too much. I throw parties. Oh, she's on the scene. Da, da, da. So I would hate for someone to miss out because they didn't do their homework.
Well, you would just have to have someone that's understanding for you per se, right? So it's just like I'm not. I'm around the scene, but I'm not in the scene. So I'm not
Hmm.
going on movie sets. I'm not going on videos. But I understand someone that's in that world, right? So as busy as I am in my world, I understand what they have to do in their world, and you have to have someone that's understanding and pertaining to you per se.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely. So, so this kind of ties into what you said, but do you think that guys think that it makes them look more famous or accepted or cool or on the scene if they have a chick by their side that's glorified on Instagram and music videos?
Well, I feel as though, how can I explain this? I feel as though Instagram heightens things to a certain level that you're really recreating somebody that you may not be, if that makes any sense, right? So you may be on Instagram a certain way, but then in your real life, how are you? That's why I tell every female friend that I have or my sisters, I always say, what does that guy house look like? Go over his house. Make sure you know what he looks like. Make sure you know that he's sleeping on the air mattress and driving a Ferrari. Because there are people that do that out there. Like this is LA. It's the falsified world. So make sure that is this house dirty? Is this house So guys that are just only looking for girls that are on Instagram models and they're getting that attention out that may be disrupting their relationship. This is something that you asked for, right? So like, how can you be mad if she has 1 million followers and everywhere she goes, somebody's trying to get at her or this celebrity's trying to get? You've invited people into your world, into your love life. You really have a reality show that you're not producing. If you really look at it, you're just living it every day and walking it every day, and people are seeing what you do. You have to have some type of normalcy or some type of seclusiveness from the outside world. That's why I love J and B. I mean, even though they're just rock stars and he's the biggest rapper and she's the biggest, singer, but in their love life, they're very secluded. This is our world. That's the world you see of us, but we have our world to ourselves. And that's how you really want to navigate through, because people are going to say shots at your girl. People gonna stay shot. He may not look good enough for her, and then the guys will be like, why does he look like that? And then she may have some cellulite showing, and the girls will say, oh my God, I can't believe she got some. This is normal stuff. Like, I mean, I don't understand. This is what happens with people. Like, nobody's perfect. Like, somebody has something with them, but if you're inviting people into that world, that's what you get, I mean, some guys, I don't get it, but some guys will deal with an Instagram girl and she'll go from this rapper to this athlete to this rapper to this. Man, I couldn't deal with anyone like that because that I know that been with this many people, but that's the thing of today. People they get over it. Like, they have her next, and then who's going to get after you? Like, is it going to ever stop? Because social media doesn't stop, so will that ever stop?
Right. No, yeah, it's very interesting because, I'll be looking around on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and just be seeing comments on stuff, whether it's this whole Birkin bag conversation or, some dude was complaining about only being called when a girl wants to be picked up tipsy from brunch, all this stuff that is just like, okay, but it just kind of makes me think like, still that all still has to do with your picker and how you qualify a girl. If you're so pressed to have the hottest girl, or so all your boys think you got the baddest chick in the room, because that's what I feel like. I feel like guys are really pressed for their boys' approval. So if their boys are like, she the baddest.
And I'm the one that contests. I was that guy. You see what I'm saying? I'm not. When I first moved to LA, I wasn't even really into sisters like that. I'm not even going to hold you. I was the guy that. Oh, wait till you see I'm bringing down the red carpet this week. Like, that was the thing. I was 24 when I first moved to LA. I'm turning 44 now. But that was me. It was just like, oh, wait till you see how I'm going to hit this week. So it would never stop. It was always a game. And like you said, it's only for the story to tell your friends. Period. Like, and it just doesn't make any sense. But I wasn't looking for my Beyonce at that time. I wasn't looking for a person that I could build with or buy or share income with or build wealth with or buy houses with and property and start businesses. That wasn't my focus then. My focus was just on looks, period. That was it. It was just on looks. Now my focus is completely shifted. I think looks sometimes overrated. You know what I mean? I think you should be able to grow with the person that really believes in you and trusts in you and has your best interest. My dad always says you need to be with the woman that's going to be by your hospital bed when you're in the hospital. That's the woman you need to be with.
I literally think about all the time because I'll watch these guys run around. I'm like, you gonna get old and ain't nobody gonna be there for you because this type of behavior, building up a karmic bank where you're just out here and using women and the baddest and booties and bottles and chains and okay,
that's
all
old.
right,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when do you think, in your opinion, guys finally make the switch from I got to be out here like that to, you know what? I better start thinking about growing and building.
Well, it comes.
I mean, I'm just wondering.
You've been out with me plenty of times, and we've been out, and the thing about it was, you go to all these dinners, and you go on a date with the girl in LA, and she sees her girls in lines, and you pull them in with you, and you see some friends in the restaurant, and you going out thinking you're going to spend a certain amount of money. Next thing you know, this grand luxe bill comes, and I always say everybody's a boss until the invoice comes.
Right.
So everybody's a boss until that bill comes to $2,300 for dinner or $2,000, and we've had many a nights like that. And
Absolutely.
I just had to start dwindling down the people that was just around, just to be. My cousin was in the NFL. I was working for Troy, and it was like, were you around because we were in the limelight, or were you around just because you were a genuine friend? Because you knew we're going to take care of the bill as a man, at the end of the day. So I cut a lot of some people out of my life that just, they know what I do, and they're hanging around these celebrities and never affirm me anybody. You know what I mean? And like, you're with me at the MTV Music Awards, at this house party, you know how I get down. We're everywhere,
Yeah,
and like, people are with me everywhere, and I don't get an invite anywhere. So then you have to look and see, like, wow, is this girl only along for the ride, or is she really into me? At the end of the day. So for me, it took me to say, you know what? I don't care what a woman looks like. I don't care if it's Holly Berry, even though, I don't care what she looks like. If she doesn't have this, and this going on, I'm not even talking about looks. I'm saying just a goal in life. Just what's your mission? Like, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? What type of career do you want to have? Or do you have a job? You can just have a job as long as that job is helping to pay for your dream and your career. I'm not tripping if you work. Like I told you the other day, I could date a girl that works at Target, right? But she could have a plan to buy a house a year for the next 4 years. She could have, as long as you have a plan, I'm all the way in. But if the roles were reversed, how many women out there would date a guy that worked at Target and had a plan? Right? So,
I mean,
exactly.
but
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know
not even
because
what I
I've been
mean. It's not even what I
no.
mean.
Well, I've been that girl. I know a lot of girls who have because sometimes when I see men always talking about women and they want us to pay and go, they be
But
complaining.
I don't
And I
mind. But
don't.
see, that's not a real man that's complaining though. Because
Oh, I agree.
I've never been on a date when I went Dutch in my life since I was a teenager. My
Correct.
19-year-old cousin lives with me. He takes care of things with his chick,
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
woman. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say chick. With
I
his
know that's
woman.
your lingo.
So that's my lingo. So like people that's from the East Coast sometimes, the West Coast are completely different. I wasn't raised to. Oh, I don't even know how to go Dutch if we're on a date. I don't even know how the conversation comes up.
Right.
I got it. It's cool. Like now, if I took you on 10 dates and you got the 11th, all right,
That's nice. Right.
I'm not mad at that.
Right. Yeah, it's just, with the whole Target thing, and I completely understand. It's just that sometimes I have a hard time differentiating between it's like, I feel like I can differentiate. I feel like I can go out and have a night, do this, come home, work, do I got to do. I can separate the worlds really easily. But what I feel like a lot of guys are doing, they don't separate the worlds easily. Like, it's one thing to go out at night and go do this and that, and then wake up and have your plan. But I feel like a lot of men make a lifestyle out of this. And because there's no anchor with their principles and codes and values, they just out here trying to show off. And so the reason I'm saying that is because in my regular mind, not my Hollywood mind, not my I got to stunt for the gram mind, I'm like, I've dated, and so have a lot of my friends, a lot of guys who just didn't have it all the way together. Like, I would say the majority of men I've dated, I was doing better than them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because I got to take care of myself. So it's just kind of like, even to have the perception that a woman wouldn't date a man from Target, I mean, she might see him, she might not, but there are people out here who are regular. Like, not every woman is trying to do this and do that. Because I feel like when you have that mindset, it puts us in. You might be overlooking your blessing. Let's just say.
Yeah. I mean, it all pertains to, like I said in the beginning. Where are you looking? Like, I know I have friends in LA make $250,000. The executives they look in the same places for guys, and I tell them, why don't you go to Pasadena? Never been to Pasadena. There's tons of businessmen out there. I said, why don't you go to Orange County? Tons of black businessmen in Orange County. And I'm like, why are you in the same places looking for the same thing, getting the same results? Doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like, you've never been to Pasadena. I'm telling you, this is where my office is at. And I'm telling you, there's tons of black men that are executives, that are bankers, that are lawyers, that are this, and you don't even go up there just to see what it's hitting for because it's not red carpetish. You see what I'm saying? It's not red carpetish. They may be boring to you. You should like boring because everything that's hot to you burns you.
A whole word.
Boring is cold. Boring is Mark Zuckerberg. Boring is the owner of the Eagles. Boring is the guy that owns Amazon. That's boring. So you don't want that. You want hot, but the hot out there has 4 or 5 girls like you and can't take care of anything that's supposed to be going on. But you don't want boring that can buy a football team.
Right.
The nerds are running the world now. You don't want the nerds. You want the cool guy. And sometimes good girls like bad guys. It's just
that's true.
The reality of it,
Yeah, good guys be out here loving these hoes too.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Not I though.
Right. We got Lena in the chat. Oh yeah, Lena said, and sometimes guys front about it, So I guess, Lena, are you talking about they front what they have or what they're willing to do? And then she said, and they're fine too. I know you didn't ever tell me the memo. I don't remember you ever telling me to go to Pasadena. Like, hello, it's okay now. I'm gone. I done moved whole states to make create a family.
Hey, I'm out of the state too, but I mean,
I heard that.
it's that's Pasadena's a hidden gem, man. It's a lot of successful black men up there.
All
A
right, you
lot of
hear that,
successful.
chat? Going to
Yeah.
Dina now. Oh, White Horse. That's such a good, cute little date place. Oh, if it's open, whatever. But the cocktails are bomb.
Yeah.
That's just a little Pasadena tip for those of you,
Yeah. Or just go where you haven't gone though. Take that trip to Laguna. Take that trip to, Coronado Island. Take that trip to, up to Malibu. Going where you haven't gone and explore something that may be there and that may be new to you. And then you may meet someone within that sector, Can't go to the same places. You can't be at
Correct.
Big Wangs or whatever the girls do. I don't know. Like
I know.
whatever they do.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm
I
saying?
remember them
Like,
days. Big wang
yeah, but
days.
you can't do no, that's not where they
Nah.
at.
No.
That's not where they at.
My friend in the chat was like, I told you go to downtown LA. And I was like, I never saw anything when I was walking around down there. And even when I did, I wasn't their cup of tea. They probably would like you a little bit more. So we'll just have to, see about this. It's all good now. I'm in Texas, honey.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be all right. So I guess we kind of touched on this, and it seems to be a yes for you, but with the keeping up with the Joneses and all of the fraud going on, do you feel like, and so you feel like women don't give men with regular or non-glamorous jobs the time of day? I don't know. That's a tough one.
mean, for example, I have a friend, she works at a nonprofit, and I was like, why you don't ever date nobody at your work? And she was like, because they work with me. And I'm like, but they have a pension, they have health care, and they do the same thing that you do, and they make what you make. I don't understand. He has a job. It's like sometimes women want this glorified lifestyle, right? But they may be here, but you want your man here, right? Now, Mike Epps said this is the best. You want this guy that makes $1 million. I'm not saying he has to make $1 million. Let's say he makes $500,000, $250,000, whatever. Like he's up here, right?
Right.
And you're down here. You may be going to school. You want if Mike Epps he said he knows guys that work at FedEx that got girls all over the place. So what do you think guys that make this type of money have? Right? So it's just like you have to find somebody that you're, at the end of the day, that you're equally yoked with, right? So at the end of the day, like, are you guys in the church together? Do you read together? Or start doing like date night things? Like my sister and her fiance, they do like these dating bowls. This is an idea. I'm giving women too much game right here, right? So in the dating bowl, she puts everything she wants to do in her bowl, and he puts everything he wants to do in his bowl. And on that day, that is your day, that person picks from your bowl. Tonight we're doing the movies, or tonight is dinner. Tonight is a trip up to Santa Barbara. Tonight is, so you always have different ideas and make it interesting and make it fun. You just can't do the same things and go to the same places. Go somewhere you've never been before with your mate. Like make a trip, a destination that you've never been before. Or start working on a business plan together, working on a business. Having that business energy is very attractive. And a lot of people don't get into it. They're like, oh, he does what he do, I do what I do. Why don't you do something together, collectively, and grow?
I mean, that sounds good to me. I feel like in my personal experience, I have been way more open to that than the men. And I don't mean to generalize all men, but I be feeling like y'all are so far behind. And I don't mean behind mentally and this and that, but it's just like, I don't even feel like there's some guys who are an anomaly by late 20s, early 30s. They're just ready. They want to marry. They want that team life. But in my experience, I don't really see that guys are even ready for that conversation until like y'all got to be in your 40s. And I'm sitting up here like, okay, but what about babies and, blah, blah, blah.
At the end of the day, I'm going to definitely let you know, I feared marriage for years, feared it. I never had good experiences from it, never seen a positive marriage, except my cousins in Maryland. They're all still married since college, but all my friends that were married, don't do it. My God, horror stories. I had friends, coming home don't even want to go in the house, like talking to me for an hour in their car before they want to. And I'm like, what is going on with this thing called marriage? But I feel as though you have to take premarital counseling. I feel as though you have to get things out of the way. I feel as though you need to have your friends. She needs to have her friends. She needs to take her girl trips. You need to take your guy trips. The problem is you're too much into each other, and then you start getting tired of each other. You have no outlet. You have no, oh, you know what? Me and my girl's going to Jamaica this week. Cool, babe. Like, do your thing. Matter of fact, it'll go a couple of hours for y'all to have some drinks on me. Because me and the homies, we're going to go here. Because the trust factor has to be on both sectors, right?
I was just about to say that.
So go to Jamaica, do your thing with your girl. You're not going to hear me blowing you up 30,000 times that you're down in Jamaica. And I want the same type of respect when I go with the homies to Uruguay or wherever we're going.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, it's a guy's trip. I'm just having fun with my friends as you're having fun with your friends. And that's where the disconnect is at.
I love that because, you know, I sit up here and, you know, I'm sorry that you had that influence about marriage because that is scary. It sounds terrible. It's like, oh, hell no, I'm definitely not about to do that. So I get it. And especially as a man, I know men a lot of the times feel like they have more to lose, you know, because with the, you know, money or whatever the case. My friend said, yes, Lena in the chat said, yes, Jamie, some men don't know how to court. So here's the thing, right? What were you going to say?
That's because of the scene now, social media. You don't have to court anymore. If I could swipe right and you like me and you're going to come over and have a Netflix night and that's going to be how we're going to get down, where's the courting coming in at? So guys don't even know. These guys, this new generation, doesn't even know how to do it. They don't know how to do it, you know?
But that's where people are going wrong because that's like saying, you know, and I hear men say this a lot. Oh, you know, people are going to treat you how you let them. Oh, she let me. So where do men take the responsibility to say, hey, because if you get it easy, it's going to go easy. It's not going to be worth it, all of this stuff. So where in a man's mind does it become like a value of his to display courtship? Because this is why I think it's important. If you just down for a cheap little Netflix, order a pizza and whatever, that's a very small investment. And it also doesn't require you to think that hard. It's like, whatever, it's pizza and whatever. But if you take courtship seriously, that's a different level of investment. The way you buy a piece of gum is not the way you invest in real estate. So where can men have more responsibility to desire to be the kind of man that receives really what they're generally asking for? You want happiness, you want love, you want someone to take care of you, you want to build, but you want to Netflix and chill. It don't equate for me.
Well, I mean, that goes back towards a lot of men don't have fathers in their lives, right? So, like, I grew up with my dad. Like, my dad, I'm not the typical black guy. My dad is, no, I have my dad. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And my dad showed me. And now my dad was a player back in the day. I'm not going to hold you. But at the end of the day, he treated his women good. You know, he treated it, took them on dates, flew them out of town, did this, bought them this present. You know, dad was, and he married now. My dad got married at 62.
Do you see what I'm saying?
62. But he loves his wife and they're doing that thing. But I see my dad do things for women. So you have to realize a lot of black men have been raised by their mothers. So then a lot of them have feminine traits, right? So if they have feminine traits, then what do they replace their mother with? Their girlfriend. So now the girlfriend takes on the mother role, taking care of things, making sure this goes right. You see what I'm saying? Because that male figure wasn't in their life to show them how to do things as a man. Like my dad showed me. I haven't lived with my parents since I was 16 years old. Right? Mm-hmm. I went to college at 16, going to touring until we're 17. I've never, ever lived back with my parents since 16 years old. My mother, when I went to Jordan, she said, you better go out and get a job and get them. I had to do what I had to do to get them. So my mother put me on like, I hear what you're saying, but you need to go handle it. I'm 13, handling what I have to handle to get what I want. So I was taught how to always have and how to always produce for myself. I can go bankrupt today, I know how to get it tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Correct. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to, oh my God, I'm going to jump out the world. No, that's life. Like, I've known people that made $10 million and lost it. Doesn't matter. But if you don't have the mindset that you can get it, if you have the mindset that you're always dependent on somebody, that's where you see that separation, but you know a lot of black men aren't in the black men's lives. So then you see it when you're dating somebody.
Yeah, and you nailed it on the head, because I can tell, I was watching my friend, he was talking about, and this is how my goal is to harmonize relationships between us, because I think obviously men and women are meant to be together, but there's a lot of sticky places that come from how we were raised that are just not serving us in trying to raise a family together. And my
Exactly.
friend, yeah, and so my friend yesterday, Oshim Phoenix, you guys should check him out, therebelcamp.com. He did a whole presentation on codependency. And there was one part of that codependency about codependent relationships that stuck out. And it was definitely, I don't know all the verbiage to a T, but being that pleaser, being the, provider. So it's like, as women, to prove our worth, because for some reason we think that's what we have to do, we're overperforming for men. We're serving them like, I mean, I might as well have been a full-on wife. I'm up here treating my ex-fiance like he's my husband. He getting meals. I'm helping. Y'all, I went above and beyond for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made his life better, like from how much money he was making to just whatever you could think of. And I'm putting in work like that to gain the affection of someone who didn't have. It's not that he did a terrible job, but most of these guys, like you said, they don't have the male figure in their life to teach them. So they're cool with you being mama. They're cool with you taking care of everything and wiping the little mouth when they done eating. Like, and that's two sides of the coin, the woman side and the man side, where that doesn't work. So for me, I had to learn, like, I'm good as is. I date completely differently now. I don't put everything out on the table. You either see what you like or you don't. I know what I can handle, but I don't need to resume you and be like, I can cook, I can clean, I can but you'll find out if you make that move. So this is how I'm taking responsibility as a woman to not create codependency. But let me ask you, like, you did have your dad in your life, which is amazing. So did I. But but my dad didn't have his dad in his life. So he committed like nothing I've ever seen before to raising his family and doing it the right way with no example. So now we got YouTube. We got Black mental health therapists. We got all kind of stuff now. So what really, I wonder, is the excuse for men not to go out there, get that information and try to,
I don't think it's an excuse for men. It could be an excuse for women too. It's a lot of women that don't have their fathers in their lives, right?
True.
So then they don't know how to treat men. They don't know how to talk to men. They may talk to them reckless, may say, like their mother may have had hatred towards men because of what their dad did. So you're talking crazy and reckless and not respectful. Like, I never raise my mouth to a woman. I never get loud. I'm all, you've known me for years.
You're very,
I'm calm.
yes.
I'm mellow, like, because I'm not going to get upset with you and argue with you, and you're going to treat me with respect as I treat you. If I'm never going to raise my tone at you, I respect the same respect. Or we don't have to have a conversation, because I can have a conversation like this, and we can get both of our points across. So a lot of women haven't been raised with their dad. So I would say you should have some positive male figure. It should be cousin, uncle, somebody, a friend from around the way, just somebody, woman-wise and male-wise, like, because that all stimulates to where, what I just said, some women talk, and I don't want to say reckless, but may have a tone that's not appreciated. Let me just say
I
that.
know what you
And you're doing it in public. Like, everything should be, done at home. If there's any type of disagreement, then you get some guys that then become successful because they may have went through this trials and tribulation of dating sisters and getting treated a certain way. So then when they become successful, boom, now they turn into a white girl. Boom. Now it's supposed to be better when you get with a white girl. Right? And so life is just completely better. And I'm not against any interracial. Like, if you love somebody, that's who you love.
Correct. First and foremost.
I've dated outside of my race. I cannot marry outside of my race because I have to be an example to the next generation that there can be Black love or people of color. Like, a person of color. It can be a person that's of Indian status, a person that's Chinese, a person that's brown. That's just me. A person that went through the same struggle. Their people went through the struggles that my people went through. That's me. I've seen that light coming over the last 3-4 years. That's how I have to do. So I don't knock anybody for their interracial dating. I'm just saying, who's going to be the example? for the next generation coming up. Who's the example? Like if everybody's switching to the other side, or you become successful, now you just go with this individual of color. You have to remember your history. You got to remember where you came from. You got to remember the color of your mother, your sister, your aunts, everything of that nature. You can't have dislike within a certain type of woman, as a woman can't have dislike in a certain type of man.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a person of another race. I've dated a white girl. She used to let me do whatever I wanted to do. That's why I was with her. Because I could go out and stay out the house for 2 days and not get, like, you know, I was like, I can do whatever. Like, you know, it was, they were like, whatever.
You're living.
Like, I can do whatever I want. You know, that was about 12 years ago, but it was just like, that's not who I want. I need some type of pushback from somebody. I need somebody to tell me like you're tripping.
You're tripping.
I need somebody to be like, oh, I would do it that way. Not only just take my word for everything.
Right.
You know, so that's pertaining to our history. So that just goes down the line of who do you want to be, who do you want to build with, and who do you want to grow your wealth with? You know, I can't transfer wealth to a Caucasian family that already has wealth. I can't do that.
Oh my goodness.
I have to transfer wealth to a family, the Platts family, my family, that didn't grow up wealthy. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not knocking guys on what they do or women on what they. I'm saying what I can't do. I cannot do that.
You know, and I love it, and it's so true. And it's like, you know, you're not the first brother to actually obviously tell me this. You know, I have a lot of guy friends, and I watch them do these things. I've dated men who you are so eager and lusting over mixed and white that you need to go get yourself that. And it's very easy to tell as a woman, like, Dan, he's tripping right now. He's not at a level of maturity. And like you said, sometimes interracial dating is love. So this is not about
love. If you love, so no, I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
So
I don't want nobody attacking me on the internet.
Yeah, me neither.
Malik said,
not right.
No.
But
if you love somebody, you love them. I don't care what color they are.
Right, absolutely.
That's
but
your
you
choice.
can always tell as a Black woman, because being a Black woman in Hollywood is a different game. I could be pretty, model, this, that, and all day. I'm gonna tell you now, depending on what scene you are, they're not checking for us at all. Like it don't even matter. Okay, if it's me standing
Phoenix
with,
is the same way. Scott,
yeah, they're not checking. They're not checking, and so I had to not only. Of course, it's my job to maintain my own esteem. My happiness does not come from the outside of me. And I'm glad that I'm strong and solid in who I am. But the messaging that sends out is extremely confusing, especially because I see so many brothers go from this phase of this. You overlook, oh, she lets me do whatever I want to do. I can do this. And it's not until you hit maturity where you start thinking like you, where it's like, dang, like now you're making real money. Why you gonna let her stick you for your paper? Like, so she can take it home to the rest of the Braithwaites. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like the Williamses, the Joneses, the Johnsons, what's going on? And then we wonder why we don't have nothing, because when it comes to the foundation, my main passion is like family. I grew up like a Huxtable. Okay, I had mom, dad, sisters. Like, we're doing holidays, we're doing babysitting, it was very, very, very traditional. And what I can see now is don't nobody care about that. And if they do, it's not until later on down the line. But sometimes by then, so many people are so hurt and wounded and have so many battle scars from all of this stuff before we're getting to a realization that this is important.
Yeah, I mean, it's beyond important. I mean, you have to understand the athlete. too. I deal with a lot of athletes. You have to understand they go to school with a lot of Caucasian people. So There's not really a lot of options for them on who to date, right? But then you have to understand that a lot of those women that go to those schools, their mothers are telling them, Black women, I'm telling you what their mothers are telling them. He's going to the league, stick next to him, put food in his refrigerator, do what you got to do. He's going to be in the NFL.
You say Black women are telling their Black daughters?
I'm telling Black women what white mothers are telling their white daughters. Mothers.
Okay. They sending them out there
going
to
the league. Go get him. He's going to the league. You see what I'm saying? They're on a mission to get that brother. Mission. It's not even like do whatever I have to do to make sure some babies come out of him because I know he's going to be a #1 draft pick. So you have to understand it. Then some of these guys go home in the summertime. They're not the big Willie around the neighborhood. They're not that. They may try to get at a sister. They get a disdain taste in their mouth when they do get the money. You know what I mean? They get a disdain, like, dang, I did try to come at her, but it was no, because I wasn't the guy then. Now I'm the guy who I'm gonna go to. The person that been riding my side when I wasn't famous, when I wasn't, her mother put it in her head to make sure you take it. You know what I mean? She put it in her head. Keep going. You better, So that's what you have to deal with. Like these guys go. That's why I'm all for a lot of these, like Maker McCord going to Howard. A lot of these black 5-star kids are going to black schools. Like I'm all for that all day because Alabama wasn't our best friend in the 1950s and 1960s when we was fighting Jim Crow. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
now you love us on Saturdays, but you hate us Monday through Saturday. You hate
Come
us.
on.
Now you love us on Saturdays. So definitely, if you want to go to a Jackson State where Deion Sanders is coaching at or a black school, do it and get with some of these sisters and let's build some black wealth collectively.
Please. Right. And that, to me, that starts with family.
It does.
Because it's legacy. It's family.
Yeah.
Choosing.
Yeah.
A lot of people say there's like a couple of things. A lot of people are, when I have conversations with some of my guy friends, like marriage has 60%, fail rate and 75% in the black community. And it's like all of these stats, I feel like are coming from not the institution of marriage, but our inability to choose. We're not being trained how to choose correctly, authentically, and genuinely, not to go get a check, not to go have a baby, and all of this stuff. So I think the way we qualify our partners, it's worth it to talk about it and figure out how we're going to do that better. Because even when you're talking about these brothers whose sisters was overlooking them when they're young, they weren't the guy, then they grow up into I don't care. Because guess what? The black women don't ever go anywhere. Whether y'all like us or not, we here. So what is your anchor in? Your ego? Don't nobody have time for that. So how do men grow past their egos and their chests and their, to understand who they are?
You have to be deflated in life.
True.
You know what I mean? God has to humble you.
Now that is so true. So.
Like my friend who I used to work for, my friend Troy, he was making millions and millions of dollars, $10 million hit, lost it all. Now he's worth 80 again. But he was humble, and he's definitely a different guy than he was back then. Like everybody's been humble. Every entrepreneur has had ups and downs in their careers. I don't care what a person, you look at the end result now where it's at. You say, oh, these guys are living humble. You don't know the backstory of everything that happened prior to them getting there. You don't know the nights they were crying. You don't know the nights they may have thought of killing themselves. You don't know the nights that they shut the entire world off, didn't answer the phone for friends. Like it's been tons of nights like that for people. So you have to be humble. The humblest people in the world that I know that are I'm talking about uber wealthy. You've seen the Prince of Cutter and them that I used to hang with, and I'm still good friends. These guys are worth billions of dollars, and they're the humblest people I've ever met in my life. Very humble. They're not showing off the Bugatti and money to their ear, but they have all of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a thing. It's an item. It's an item. So you have to be humble. You have to stay humble because the same people that you meet going up, you're going to meet coming down. It's a lot of record executives that were attached to a lot of rappers that were, a-holes going up in the industry. And then when they started falling off, it's like, oh, I'm not messing with them. I was only attached to you because of him. Right. So it's just like you have to always stay humble. I treat everybody with respect. I take every meeting. I treat every meeting. My preacher says, look at the person on the left of you. Look at the person on the right of you. That person could be a miracle. You never know who you're going to meet. Ever. You never know who's going to change your life. You know what I mean? So you have to I don't care if a person is flipping burgers at McDonald's or serving me at a restaurant. I always tell people thank you, because that's your job. And when you come clear my table, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And if I go on a date and a woman is being arrogant towards the waitress or the waiter, I'm not with that. No. You know what I mean? That's their way of making a living. And you might not be all the way there, or you might get a humbleness in life to where you need that extra thank you. That might spark your day. Just that day, you may have had a bad day. And that one thank you sparks your, you know what? Thank you for that. You know what I mean? And leave them a nice tip. I'm like, you know what? That sparks your day. That might have sparked your career. That might have sparked something in your mind to start your own restaurant. You never know.
Yeah, all of our actions have a ripple effect that go out
Yeah.
into the universe, and it all goes out and comes back. This is real. The energy is real. So I love that. I'm the same way. And life humbled me. I don't think I really went through a space where I was treating people badly necessarily, but things did come easy for me. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm working, I'm smart, I made the money, like, of course. But then I got knocked
Yeah.
all the way off my square. And now it is different because did have to wait tables. I
Yeah.
did have to do all of these things. I did have to hustle. There were times where I was like, it's the 27th and I don't have my rent money. Like,
Yeah.
so the humility that comes with life struggles, I definitely think matures us in ways that we absolutely need. Um,
Exactly.
and I welcome all that drama only because I know it's goodness on the other side. So I
Yeah.
completely
You
get
you
it.
got you got to go through it to get to it.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
That's true. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah. So when we talk about going through it, obviously that means sometimes it might be emotional, but sometimes it's financial. So with that being said, whether you're in that space or not, what is the pressure like for a man dating? I mean, I'm guessing it would be pressure because usually us we're not coming out of the pocket, so we don't have to think about it as much. So what is the pressure like for a man to date and be on the scene? What are some of the pressures, the turn-ons, the turn-offs, the value in
What?
it?
Well, you have to know who you are, right? Like you got to know in LA or anywhere that you're not going to be the richest guy. You're not going to drive the best car. You're not going to have the biggest house. So once you know your lane and the lane that you play, you'll be good. You know what I mean? You may have to say, you know what, babe, I don't have it this week. Come over, I'm gonna cook you a nice meal. But when I do get it in 2 weeks, we're gonna take that trip up to Carmel on
Right.
me. Like, you know, so if
Right.
you're really into your lady and she's into you, she'll understand you. But if she's like, oh, he don't have it, I'm not calling him, and you only call me when we gotta go out, I'm cool. You see what I'm saying? A person that's an entrepreneur like me, I might have money up in investments. I might have money in buying properties as I'm buying, an investment property in the land or a place in Vegas or you never know where my money is tied up at. Like it's not like, oh, he got it all the time. I make it look good all the time and I never fall off, but I do have money working in other places, but I keep a certain, crop of money to where like, I'm gonna take my lady here. You know what? I'm gonna do this for her. You know what? Or I might see this. I'm big on when I go on business trips, bringing something home. Like, you know what? She'll like this. Or you know what? Let me order this. This is dope. An unexpected gift at an unexpected time. That's the way to a person's heart. Don't always just do it on Valentine's Day and Christmas and walk in with a Escada bag or walk in with, some lube. She may have seen it's a Louboutin outlet out there in Palm Springs. Like you gotta know how to ball on the budget. Like I didn't get her from the lube spot, but I got her from the outlet. But we still balling. It still
She
looks
gonna still
good.
be like, thanks, baby.
Exactly. So, you gotta know how to do it and make it finesse it to make it look, you know. So that all goes back to what I said. You gotta know your lane. Don't have 5,000 and spend 5,000 on a vacation with your girl, and that's
Right.
all the money you got. Doesn't make any sense in the world. Like, but you get people that do that. And then you
Right.
come home broke and she ain't back into you. Like, oh, I ain't going over there, ain't got no money. So you have to
Dang.
know, does the girl, is she into you only because you have, or is she into you because she believes in you? Period.
So do you think that men are good at telling the difference, or do you think that their egos and their, immaturity
Well,
at
well, I
time
think,
or desires confuse that?
well, I think everybody in the beginning is bringing their representative of their self,
Yeah.
right? That's not
Mm-hmm.
their true self. Everybody in the beginning is bringing the person that wants to impress you. Like if a person's dating you, he wants to bring the person that's impressing you because he wants this thing to continue, and
Mm-hmm.
vice versa with me. You
Mm-hmm.
would say, I cook, I clean, I do this, and I'm like, wow, that's wife categories, right?
Right. Right.
So you
Right.
think in that aspect until you get to that first year, second year, third
Six
year, and
months.
things. But I believe if you're really into somebody, I really believe you should do therapy with them.
I
I'm
agree.
huge on that. I like my last relationship I got out of, and the therapist got me out of it. Like it was just like he was like, "You're not into this," and I was like, "We're at therapy," and she's talking over me in therapy when it's my turn, and I said, this is what I'm talking about. Like, how is it my turn in therapy and you're still like, this is crazy, But I hope she's doing great. But this is the person I thought about marrying, and it would have been a disaster. It would have been a complete disaster. Do you hear me? And the only reason I thought of marrying her is because I was getting older, and I was like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do. Supposed to start thinking about marriage and kids. You know what I mean? I was like, and we weren't even equally yoked. I was just like, because every successful person I know, the uber wealth, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about uber wealth. The first question they're going to ask you is, where do you live and are you married? 2 questions they're going to ask you. They're going to judge you on where you live at, and then they're going to ask you, are you married? Because that shows stability. Now, I'm not saying they're the best husbands in the world, but they're going home to their wife every night. You best believe that.
Yep.
They're going home to the wife. She got the black card. She's got the kids in private school. So that's what my mindset was. I think I need to get married to take it to another level. And that's what I was in that situation. But we did therapy, and that was good. Therapy was good. But that therapy had made that disconnect happen between us.
Wow. Yeah. And I mean, I guess that would be the point of it. I think it's amazing that you went to therapy because, like you said, if you would have just been on your own devices, there's so many men. I have so many guy friends who just get married because they think they're supposed to. Oh, we went to college. We've been together. Now this is next. Not even happy. That's scary.
Yeah, it's very scary. Yeah, it's very scary. Yeah.
I definitely don't want any man to marry me for the wrong reasons like that. Like you think you have to do it. It's just that's unsettling. But yet so many guys do it, I guess, because of the pressure. And then, like you said, I definitely know when it comes to making real wealth, where do you live and are you married?
Hello. That's
like
it.
I'm just saying, there's a lot that comes with it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I can understand why, men want to do it, but you still got to vet correctly. And I'm so glad you went to therapy. That's awesome. I'm hoping to do the same thing, whenever I meet someone thinking about that.
Yeah. I believe premarital counseling is vitally important because you might not like hair on the soap. You might like little things that irk you. You need to talk about it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I need my own bathroom. It's that simple.
Exactly.
Don't come in here. This is where the pretty things happen.
Exactly. But then a woman might not be as clean as, like, I'm clean. My house is spectacular. My bathroom's all white. So it's like, dang, you're not as clean as I thought you were. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but you never know. Like, you never know. What irritates that person is their lack of communication. I've learned, me growing up in Philadelphia and then growing up a delinquent and being in the streets, how I was prior to going to college and things of that nature, I was always taught to keep my mouth shut just because if the cops come and this happens, just always be quiet. So I wasn't a good communicator. So when a woman said, what's the matter? How's your day going? I'm like, my day's cool. Not knowing I may have had a bad day or I may have had this because it's just like, now I'm learning to communicate and I'm seeing dating certain girls. It's like, they're bad at communication because they may have grew up a certain way or and not in a great household or just keep all the problems into themselves and, things like that. And you have to let them know, like, yo, I'm here for you whenever you need it, but I'm not forcing you, but I'm just letting you know because you may never had that crutch to lean on because you've taken care of everything yourself. You know what I mean? So communication is key. Communication is key too. And being selfless. You have to be selfless, like in a relationship. Yeah. A lot of men are selfish. A lot of women are selfish. It's all about them. Like you're the show. Everything's about you. Like, okay, well, if a seesaw is going like this, and you're always up here, and a person is always down here, they're not going to feel good about the situation. No. You have to balance it. It has to be a balance. Like, how do we get it like this?
Correct.
You said that's why I said the date nights is a way. You may want to go see this movie that's a love movie this week. Well, it's not your night, so you have to be selfless.
Not your night. Okay.
This is my night. This is what I want to do. Now, when it's your night, this is what you want to do. Now, we respect each other's time and what they want to do. Like, let's say a girl is a nail tech and she has a nail convention. I don't want to go to a nail convention, but if I know it's important to her and it's going to uplift her and help her business, I'm going to do it. Just like I may have to go to a basketball tournament to recruit a player. I want you to come with me to that. Even if you don't like basketball.
Right.
So you have to respect each other's time and what each other wants to do, you know?
Yeah, pour into each other. That's what I'm hearing. Like, pour into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's glass stays full.
Exactly.
I'm not mad at that. It was interesting. I saw a post on, Instagram, and it was a whole thread about this woman who was getting her hair braided by her friend, and her friend had two small children, and it was starting to get a little bit distracting. So it was simple. The friend told her husband, like, could you come back and pick up the kids? He got the kids dressed and took them out. She finished her hair client and then made dinner, and by the time he got back with the kids, there was food, there was this. To me, that sounds very balanced. But the fact that she was so wowed by this as if it was an anomaly, to me, that's a communal red flag.
Yeah.
It should not be an anomaly that
for you to
two
pick
people
your kids up. They're your kids.
while your wife is working.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is why I love having these conversations, to just get to the root of how we're thinking, how we're raised, what we're taught, what we believe, what we see for the future, because all of that has to do with how we're treating each other. And I know there's like time and maturity and all this other stuff, but it's just like that. I don't know. That made me feel some kind of way.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like when you really on a level, right, you should have nanny money. Like, right. So if it was like, if it was the case with me, and you know what, I'm going out with the guys, but I am bringing such and such over to handle the kids, or I'm making sure she comes to the house to handle the kids.
Sure.
Like you should be able to play like that.
Sure. All here for it. But then too, when I think of stuff like that, that's part of the plan. Like you got to be on the same page with somebody to plan, like, okay, this is where we want to put our money. This is what we want to do. Our quality time is important to each other. So that like that therapy, that communication, those anchors in your own personal codes and values, the ability to communicate, all of these things play a huge role, because it's nuts. Like we can all be like, I'm gonna make $1 million online. I'm gonna invest in this course and these marketing tactics and do this and do that. And we invest in all these things, except the greatest thing of our life, which is who we fall in love with and who's going to continue our legacy. Ain't no classes, ain't no thoughts, ain't no breakdowns until you're like, oh, now I'm in my 30s. Oh, okay. Sometimes that's 2 kids and 1 marriage later.
And they say the first wife prepares you for the second. That's what I heard. I'm just saying.
Where those divorced men at?
the first wife's club. That's what they say.
Okay, well, okay, I guess we'll find out.
Whoever they are. They are.
Okay, here's a question for you. Well, we kind of talked about this. I put, does legacy ever come into thought, or is it just so distracting living in a major city that you are caught up living for the moment? And I only asked that about a major city because don't get me wrong, there's such a healthy time where people need to have your whole phase, go kick it, party, be like you gotta get it out of your system, so to speak. And sometimes you're making a lot of money when you're doing it, and sometimes you're not. So obviously there's certain times to enter things. But do you think that being in a major city puts the idea of legacy in the back of your mind instead of at the forefront in any particular season?
I don't think a major city has to do something about it. I think about your mindset, right? So when I was in LA, now I'm living in Vegas, but I'm in LA every week for clients, and the office is still there. But when I was in LA, I was in the lifestyle. We were in the lifestyle. We were in our 20s, we're in the life. Now being outside of LA looking in, I see people that were me 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, you were doing the same thing that I was doing 10 years ago, chasing the girls, blowing a bunch of money, doing this and doing that. And you have to prepare for this exit.
Right.
Mount Kilimanjaro is the biggest mountain in the world, right? They call it K2. More people die going down Mount Kilimanjaro than going up.
How come?
Because they never plan for the exit.
Stop.
That's life. That's life. You plan to get to this top, you plan to get to this mountaintop. How do you get down? You don't know. You don't know, right? You just don't know.
That's good.
So at the end of the day, now that I'm I'm more calm and do less in Vegas, which is a party city, than I do in LA.
Correct.
It's because I already have the contacts. I already know what's going on. I already know the hot restaurants. I know where to be and where to position myself when I go back to LA and doing things. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? It's not like I have to go figure it out or we're going to get a table here when I'm not even into none of that anymore. Unless I'm with my friends. My friends are all executives and we're splitting the bill collectively. How many
Right.
guys are here? This is what we doing. Boom, boom. So we don't hang with no broke friends. Like if the bill come out 1,600, we split it between us four or
It's
five.
nothing. Yeah.
It's nothing. It's like because all my guys are getting it. And
Yep.
you have to surround yourself with people that are like-minded like you. You have to cut people out of your life that aren't thinking on the level that you're thinking on. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? You can't fly with eagles if you hang with turkeys all day.
Correct.
So you got to just position. I know who my friends are that now I have friends at home that I love to death, but they may not be able to do what my friends that are executives can do, and I love them. But I know my friends that are the executives that as we go to Miami or we go to Uruguay, like these are the trips that we're talking about collectively, going to Thailand and doing this, just experiencing the world. And while you're
Right.
experiencing the world and you see this other wealth, I've seen wealth at the biggest level before where guys are, for my friends from Qatar are coming in buying $50,000 paintings on the spot or
Mm-hmm.
5,000 a night rooms or flying G4s or bringing their whole families on 747s. Entire
Yeah.
family. That's how they travel. The entire
Yep.
family. 747s. It's like what? Everybody come. All
Yeah.
100 of you guys? So when
Right.
you see that type of wealth, you
Right.
might not can't get what they have, but you want to at least achieve or try to get something that you can leave to individuals. Because I ask every client this. Give
Mm.
me the name of your great great grandmom or your great great grandpa, your grandmother's grandmother, your grandfather's grandfather's grandfather. So 3 generations removed from your grandparents, right? A
Mm.
lot of people don't know. But
Correct.
if you're a Rockefeller, Hilton, or a Ford, you know great great grandpa, right? Because he's sending the check from
Correct.
the grave. So
Sheesh.
living life is just to be remembered and helping others become successful. That's all life is about. You have to help other people become successful and you have to be remembered. That's what you should be living for. Even if it's helping your kids become successful, your wife become successful, you may see something in a friend that they don't see. Like, you know what, you should be a comedian, or you know what, you should do that, or you know what, I think you should do that. You'll be real good at cooking. You should open up a restaurant and give them no tips, push them along. Like, you know what I mean? Help them build a legacy, and then they may want you to go in business with them, and you guys build a legacy together. I'm not even around. I'm not even talking to dudes that's talking about Poppy and the brick and they got a Draco. I don't even want those conversations in my vicinity.
I don't even know
You
what
see
you're
what I'm
talking
saying?
about.
I don't know what you're talking about when I'm kicking it with individuals that's going to the White House, and I have possibilities to enter the White House in the new, generate or the new administration comes, or we may go to Qatar or Dubai, or we may go to the governors. That's who I want to kick it with on the black level. I don't want to kick it and we now I know how to have those conversations, but I'm not if you're out there and you still in the streets, I'm not we don't have nothing in common. I like the ballet, I like fashion shows, I love art, I love to read every day. The Wall Street Journal, CNN, I'm up at 4:30. Out of them 8 things, what do we have in common?
Right.
And there's nothing.
Fair enough.
We can have a cocktail, but the conversation, I have to dumb down my conversation in order to have you feel connected.
That's a lot of work and energy that could be
I'm not
spent
in. I'm
on,
not. No, I'm not
something
doing
else.
it.
Right, right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
You
doing
be
it.
in the
So
house.
exactly, I'll be chilling. So but yeah.
I love it. I mean, I've enjoyed this conversation so much. So I have my last 2 questions, and these can kind of go together, whatever. Do you have any dating advice for younger men that may be pursuing an entertainment or entrepreneurial career about how to navigate dating? And do you have any regrets about the way you have qualified women in the past?
Yeah, younger men, I would say date low key women, date women that are, they may be, this actress or this Instagram model, like for the public, but they may be low key behind doors. I like a girl that's low key, that's a boss, that's a boss, and she can make boss moves and boss decisions. Of, you know what, babe, I got them flight tickets. You take care of everything as far as dinner and stuff goes. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Or it's your
Yeah.
birthday, I got you this Rolly or this Louis for your birthday. all right, let me shut my mouth. Like, you know what I mean? Let me fall back.
Right.
So I like low key, me personally,
Mm-hmm.
girls that are bosses, not stay away from drama. Stay away from drama. I don't do drama well. I don't do baby father drama, and I'm not into none of that. Like, you know what I mean? If you don't have a relationship with the, if the relationship with the father of your children is out of control, I'm cool. Like, you know, yeah. I'm not fighting. No, I'm not coming to a new situation fighting for you over something that's been going on for 10 years. I'm not doing that. Like, good luck to the next guy because I don't want that. I don't want no drama. I just want to have fun, travel the world, have some kids, have my family travel, build a legacy. That's all I want to do. Like, I gotta take your drama on with me. That's crazy, right? So,
Yeah.
but I would say, date low key, man. Don't always want the hottest girl. She gotta be this or she the baddest. You know what I mean? Like, it's like A Beautiful Mind. Watch the movie A Beautiful Mind when they were looking at women in the room and you know, he was looking at all and found the most beautiful women, and everybody was just attracted to her. You got to know, and as a woman, you have to know that you're not going to be the most beautiful woman. You have to be comfortable in your lane. You know, you have to be whatever you're good at. Stay good at what you do. Don't worry about what she got going on. Her girls is out to, you know, they out to Aruba, and they look they doing it. They renting the boat, and trust me, 9 times out of 10 they frauding. Like, it's just what it is. I'm 100% sure.
It's true.
They're frauding. Like, they just spend all their money on vacation and they coming home to nothing. Like, you know, there's no way everybody's living this extravagant lifestyle. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. It's impossible.
Right.
Like, now they're spending all their SBA money and January's coming. That's going to run out. Like, that's running out. So what you want to do with? So just know your lane and stay in your lane. You don't do what the dope boys are doing with the money to their ear. That's not you. Be who you are. You may be the nerd to have a new technology that you're going to sell to Google. That's going to make you $100 million, and they worrying about this. Not money, not on the black card that's in their hand. Stupidest thing in the world. You see what I'm saying? But stay in your lane, do you, and deal with women that stay in their lanes. Don't deal with women that. I don't understand how women take advice from other women that's not in relationships. That sizes me. Like, you take advice from your girlfriend that hasn't had a relationship in 10 years. Where's her experience coming from?
Right.
Like, you're listening to somebody that has not been in a relationship.
Yeah.
That doesn't talk to your preacher. You can talk to people. Your aunt may have been married for 30 years, or your cousin may have been married for 20 years. That's people you talk to. Hey, auntie, you know what? I'm having this problem with my guy that's doing this, and this. And as a man, talk to your uncle that's been married. I'm having this problem with my woman. She does this. Well, this is how I would handle it. Because I've been in a relationship for 20 years. This is what I would do. So get those advice from individuals that have experience.
Yeah, I love that. And that's really powerful advice. There was a few things in there I wanted to speak to. One, for us ladies, when it comes, okay, so first of all, when it comes to advice, I don't know if I necessarily claim to have the best relationship advice, but I can tell you is how to be in alignment with yourself, which is the beginning of getting into a relationship. So with that being said, even when it comes to that spirit of comparison or being the hottest woman in the room or trying to keep up, what I always tell women is, and I learned this, years ago, is the most beautiful woman in the room is the one at rest with herself. And like at peace with who God has made her. That's all you need. So it ain't the stilettos. It ain't dressing half naked. It ain't how big your titties get. It ain't the wig you put on. It ain't that you beat your face. It ain't. Are you at rest with who you are? That's a vibration. That's a frequency. You have the power to change molecules in the room. So how are you going to show up? So that's what I would tell women, just as an aside, because like you said, you could tell, who got it and what's going on. Kimberly Banks in the chat said great advice. Yes, Malik does have great advice. But
I've been through it.
Right. So yeah, and then that makes sense. Go to people who, first I would say check with what you really want. I feel like some people are looking at all of this stuff and thinking that they're supposed to want something or need to want something because everybody else does or because it looks a certain way. And then now they're going out. So stay authentic to who you are, do your thing your way, know who you are, and make moves from that. And then that'll tell you who to go to for advice. Like, we have to have our own discernment, and our inner compass has to be sharp in order to even do that part, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you just have to be, like, for me, example, I know I'm not the tallest dude in the world. I know I don't have the most money. I don't have the biggest house. I don't have the biggest car. But you best believe if we go to Miami, I get the private room at Prom 112. If we go to, we could go to, my friends in Malibu that have certain type of parties and have social equity. I know that I have social equity. So I know that, one of my clients who was in Black Panther was in Cannes Film Festival at a party, and a huge publicist had to call me to get a billionaire in. So my social equity goes far. So that's the relationships that I've built over the years. So you should cherish your relationships as far as they come, and you should cherish your one relationship. Any lady that I deal with, she's going to come up because of the people that I hang with. It's inevitable. It's not even like
it's a byproduct. Yes,
it's about you just being with me is going to increase your lifestyle. Period. Like when we were in Atlanta, me and my friend was in Atlanta. We walking in the line. And first of all, we don't do lines. You know that. So we're walking to skip the line, right? And the girl was like, "Ain't nobody. There ain't no celebrities." I'm like, "We about to walk in here. This thing about to be popping. We about to come in here. Like
the party don't start till I walk in."
And that's why I love my crew, because it doesn't matter if LeBron's in the room or this person. Like, we're going to make sure our area is good. We brought the girls to make it fun. We're fun. It could be just us in there. We're going to have fun. Because we're comfortable with us.
Period.
I don't care what they got going on, and he made it $500 million. That's him. That's his money. I can't count his money. I know what we do over here. You know what I mean? And you have to know who you are as a person. And like you said, don't follow nobody else's. And you at work in a cubicle, and the girls is in Aruba, and you looking at you mad. They probably come home with no job. You better be lucky you got a job.
Right, but get your little PTO scheduled and go on your trip.
Exactly, and go on your trip. Save up some checks. Do your thing. Don't worry about what a lot of people out here are from Fraud Street. Trust me. What I'm telling you, I know.
You deal directly with the dollar.
I know. A lot of guys taking pictures of other guys' cars, which I would never do. It's just certain things as a man I could never do. Could never sit in front of somebody else's car that's not mine and take a picture. There's just certain things I'm never holding somebody else's money to my ear. I'm never there's certain things I would never do. So this perception of life, these kids, it's so expensive to be a kid now because they don't just buy regular Nike stuff. They have to have Balenciaga. They got to have this Bentley. So then these rappers they may be falsifying their lives. It's trickling down to the kids because they want to be like you. You see what I'm saying? And you might not be sitting on the M. And it's cool if you're not. You see what I'm saying? But don't perpetrate like you are. It's just
a lot
crazy.
of perpetrating going on.
A lot of listen, man. It's crazy out here in these streets. but they don't know who they are. They're lost. They're
that's what I was gonna say.
They're followers. They're not leaders. You see, I'm a trendsetter. Like, I'm not getting the thing to come across my shoulder and the man. I'm not doing it. I was dating the girl. I gotta get you a man purse. That's not me. I don't
want the bag. Yeah.
That's for the kids. The kids is into that. I'm not the old head that's gonna dress like a kid. Like, that makes no sense. I'm not wearing the tight jeans. I'm not gonna dress like my little cousin. Like, these guys out here dressing like the kids. I'm like, I thought you supposed to set things.
44.
Exactly. Holding on to hip hop. You don't grow up.
And not even the hip hop we grew up with. We talk about, I don't know what this is now, this little candy hip hop.
Hey, man, it's crazy out here.
Man, it is. But I do appreciate, life and the journey and the lessons. I appreciate your time and sharing all that with us.
Oh, yeah, so most definitely. Most definitely. And you had one more question. That was it. That was the last one.
Oh, that's right. Do you have any regrets on how you've qualified women in the past?
Oh, yes. I told you I was strictly Caucasian at one point in my life. When I first moved out. Oh no, I wasn't dealing with the sisters. It was like I'm not even going. It was like, and listen, this was a journey that I had to go through.
Yes, I hear you.
I had
I
to go
really
through
do.
the journey.
Yep.
At one point, if you didn't look a certain way to walk a red carpet, it wasn't even happening. And so I've made a lot of decisions just based off looks, not knowing who that person was.
Right.
Not really getting into them intellectually, knowing what their plan is in life, knowing what they want to do. Do they have a plan, or are they winging it? And a lot of girls in LA winging it. And been winging it for 15 years. They've been winging it for 15 years. Let's get it.
True.
It's
true.
They winging it. Like how you said the 27th, you ain't know what their rent was coming. They still 15 years later on 27th don't know what their rent coming. But they in Aruba though. They in Aruba though. You in Aruba. You ain't got your rent money. I don't understand your philosophy on life. But because they may be chasing their girlfriend because their girlfriends are coming up. And you got to get these shoes or this hair and don't pay your bills. I don't get it. So I don't want to date that type of woman. I want to date that type of woman. I don't care.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I want the woman that got her bills paid, know where the money's coming in, ain't waiting till the 27th. Man, we waiting till the 27th together, and we building together. I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like, girl, we got to figure this out.
Yeah. But just coming in like with a question over your head.
No, you coming in and you on the roof and your rent ain't paid. Oh man, that's your choices are very bad.
Your priorities.
Your priorities are screwed up. So that means you're gonna make those type of choices when you have a family, and you know what I mean. And you do things. You're gonna stay in that type lane. Your kids' stuff is dirty, but you got lubes on. Like your kids' sneakers and your dress. I'm not gonna knock any kids. But as a parent, you're not taking care of the kids the way they're supposed to be taken care of, but you fly. Or the father of your child is at the club and he not contributing to the household with the child. And he got bottles. So I don't even respect you as a man, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I got a couple of homegirls with that. You driving a Range Rover, but why my girl can't get her little $400?
Come on, man. You chose to have a baby with that woman. That was your choice. That wasn't the kid's choice. I'm 44 with no kids because I wanted to make the right choice.
I'm with you on that. I don't have kids either because I don't want to have to call some dude that I can't stand no more to help me with, whatever's going on. I've had to be very cautious about that because this is certainly not to knock anybody who's it's just my personal choice to because I know me. That's just I can't.
Me neither.
I cannot. I will not. I'm not doing it. And I want children,
Exactly. Yeah,
but
definitely.
I'm not willing to do that. I believe in family. I believe in Black love. Because, I know it happens for people. The majority of Black couples that are married that I know went to Black colleges together. The rest of, us Black girls is still just in my circle. We're still trying to figure it out. And that's okay, though, because, I'd rather wait and have it be worth it than just
jumping into it. Yeah,
trial and error galore. And I got 2 kids by 3 kids by 3 different men, which again I get it.
And he had the club. And he had the club. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by dating. And I'm coming in and I'm dating a woman that got 2, 3 kids, and I take care of this household. And he at the club.
He gets to kick it.
I got to go see you, buddy. Like,
you please help your child.
That's not even my story. This is your story that you didn't. You ain't finished your book. And you over here starting another chapter.
In the club.
You in the club. This baby crying over here and you chilling.
You don't take your tail home, get your little Camry, trade the Range Rover in.
Listen, man, priorities, man.
Please.
You don't need the Phantom. You don't need the Ferrari. You don't need, I'd rather have a Jeep Cherokee in the year that it is and have $400,000 in the bank or $400,000 investment properties than have, I just read one of the rappers just bought his, who was it? It was, Lil Durk. Lil Durk. He just bought his girl a piece of property for her birthday. That's dope.
Right.
Instead of buying her a Birkin bag or something stupid. That was like, and I was like, that's dope. Like, do that every check that's coming. Buy property. Do this. Invest every check. And I respect Lil Baby. He does that. Lil Baby puts his money into a lot of properties. You got You got the guy that plays for Seattle, the running back. He never spent a game check, saved all his checks up till he retired. Marshawn Lynch. Like, you got some people that are very smart within our community. That message needs to be delivered to everybody, though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because we're not glorifying that. Yeah.
Exactly. Glorify what little baby doing. Glorify what little Dirk doing. What Marshawn Lynch. Every athlete didn't do what Marshawn Lynch does. He didn't spend one game check. He used all his endorsements money to fund his lifestyle and saved all his money.
God, that's awesome.
That's
especially
dope.
When you come from, if you didn't come from having it all, yes, there's an excuse that you don't know what to do with the money that, but there's also, it's like, but dude, you've been surviving off of grilled cheese sandwiches and did it. So
still, yeah, hello.
So you know how to eat, you know how to, like, why are you losing your mind now? I feel like that when the money starts rolling in a particular way, like, don't get me wrong, I do steak, but I'm not doing a $20,000. I mean, like, there's just some stuff that
it doesn't make sense. You could put that up down down payment on a house in Texas. That makes absolutely no sense.
Right. So I guess it just,
but it all goes back, and like you said, it all goes back to family. It all goes back to morals. So this is what these guys were taught coming up. Like, maybe was a hustler, so he was taught to hold his money. Marshawn Lynch probably came from a family that was taught to keep money secure. So these people probably grew up in bad situations, but they got great morals in those situations from their family that's transferring into their life. So, and you got somebody that never had and then still getting it and still never have it. I know people making $100,000 a month living check to check. So it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't. It's the habit. It matters how much money you keep. It's the lifestyle that they're doing. They got the Ferrari. They got the big house. They got girls out every night. 10 girls and 5 guys and dinners of $2,300. It's people that don't know LA. This is LA. This is what happens. You come out here and thinking this is, if you're really doing it out there, this is how you flowing. This is how you rolling. This is every night. And you know it. It's like boom, boom, boom. This is not stopping. It don't stop.
It can be so much fun.
It can be, but like at some point, like, you can't do everything. You know what? I'm gonna do that one. I'm not gonna do that one. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta just know when this. Because, man, it don't stop, boy.
Man, the stuff we learn, boy, just time going by. I'm so glad, though, we went, like, balls to the wall and have really, like, done everything that we wanted to do.
Yeah, me too.
Because I don't have any regrets. Me neither. I don't have any regrets at all.
Me neither.
And that's a beautiful thing.
And you learn to just be calm, chill. Like me, I'm a good hookah bar now. A good, nice little restaurant out here in Vegas. We got Lake Las Vegas. That's super dope. That people that come here don't even know about. Like, you can rent a boat, take your friends out, have your drinks and stuff. It's fly, it's player stuff. Like, you got to get into stuff that's going to elevate you. You know what I mean? I done did the clubs. I done had the bottles. I done stood on the couches. I done partied with Hugh Hefner, partied with Leonardo DiCaprio. I done done all of that. Now what can I do to elevate? Like, I want to, go skiing in the Swiss Alps. I want to, go to the Cannes Film Festival. I want to go to, the yacht week in Dubai. I want to go to different things that elevate, Monaco, the speed race, F1. So if you're not trying to elevate and you staying stagnant on the same things that you're doing, you're still going to the clubs, you're not growing in life. And then your partner won't grow with you because you guys are stagnant together. So you have to be parallel yoked, and you need to be taking it to the next level collectively.
And it does take time to learn who can do that, because there's some guys that I've talked to that they don't care to have millions. They're good with a little $350,000 house.
And that's good money.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, awesome. And but it's like when you're with somebody and it's not equal and one person is stuck and one person is growing, that's also how, other tension comes. But I love, again, back to the therapy, that when you are thinking about being serious with somebody, gone to some premarital counseling. You don't even have to have been engaged, like, figure it out, but go so you can really get to the crux of what you guys are both made of and if this will be something that lasts.
Yeah, I mean, therapy saved me from a disaster relationship.
Oh my God, I'm happy for you. You would have been like...
I'd have been on the news.
dumping bodies in Lake Las Vegas. I know. I know.
Yeah, listen. I think because I think I think every black person needs therapy, only because I think every black person has PTSD. That's just my personal
In
opinion.
some form or fashion,
Some
I
form of
absolutely
factor.
agree.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely agree.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I've experienced just wild racism or this or that, but the stuff that goes on within our own communities has affected me. The stuff that so whether it's lightweight or hardcore, we all need the therapy to just kind of get back to center and just, have that real anchor in who we are, our identity. Everything that we do, we step out, our identity is constantly being snatched at. And then we go home and wonder why we don't feel good about what we have, who we are, what we do. So I definitely agree.
But then that goes back to what we're saying about people that's out there fraud and they don't know their identity.
No.
So they don't know their identity. So they step out of it. So they're becoming somebody that they're not.
And it holds no weight.
It holds no weight. You're building a house on quicksand. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't have a foundation, no foundation, quicksand. It's just you burning the candle from both ends. Like it's gonna at one point it's gonna come to an end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then looks fade. So all the women that's like looking great now, like looks fade, like they do. Guys get bigger, and like they may not be the 6-pack guy that you had 12 years. This is things you got to learn how to grow with that person. You see what I'm saying? Because things are going to come to a head. Like nobody's going to be looking like this for the rest of their life, unless you're Angela Bassett. I don't know. She got some miracle. She got a miracle grow over there.
I'm gonna be right there with her because I feel like I'm getting better with age. So me and Angela, we gonna trade secrets.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm gonna be good for a while, but that's besides the point. You got to see my mama. She's 60 years old and looks. My mom is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
That's what's up.
But that's a whole, that's a whole nother thing. The bottom line is, anything can happen, and that should not be what we're basing things off of. And to be honest, I was telling somebody the other day, I don't want anything based off of that. Like, please appreciate my beauty. I understand that is so sweet, but at the same time, if that's all, that's not going to be enough for nothing. And I don't want anybody, I don't want to put myself out there like that. And I don't want the energy that comes from, that basic level, whatever. It has to be an equally yoked situation.
Exactly.
Back to you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yes. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody up in this chat. I love it.
This is the most highly rated one right here. This is it.
Yeah,
I didn't give a lot of game, man. I'm sorry, fellas. I didn't put them on game.
That's the whole point. You better talk to me.
y'all got game right now.
I love it. We were able to retain an audience, this whole time. So it's good. I hope you guys watching totally enjoyed the conversation. We'll have to come back. I'm going to have to come visit you and
come to Vegas
together.
Vegas
I need
is
to
wild.
kick it.
Yeah, come kick it.
Yeah, I'm gonna come kick it. And thank you so much for everything. So I want you guys that are all tuned in now to come back on Thursday, because us queens are gonna have a conversation about everything that you talked about. Malik.
On Thursday, I gave some good tips. They're gonna have to get your pencils and paper out.
Get your pens and paper.
And get your popcorn ready, because it's a movie on Thursday.
It's a movie on Thursday. So we have our wine. We're just gonna chit chat about your perspectives and then ours, and how we can all support each other. So I'm excited for that. And yes, thank you guys for watching. If you're not following Kings Speak on Instagram, please do. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel and set the notifications so you don't miss the show. And
exactly.
Yes. And lastly, Malik, you have a show. So let's tell people about what you have, how they can tune in, and where they can find you.
So we have the show Mind, Body, Money coming out. We're still talking to networks right now. So that's his Zelfie show. So, making my acting debut, So on
can't wait.
Acting day, I'm gonna have a big gathering when we have it.
Yes.
I do everything here. That's
get the big screen, yeah.
I gotta do the big screen. They got 100-inch. I need the 101-inch.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's coming out top of the year. Then on Sundays, I do assets and liabilities on my IG Live. Got some talks for some podcasts and some radio shows to do. And I just started it because we started both of these because of COVID. Like, we would have never had the opportunity to sit down and just think about it or do it or film if COVID didn't happen. So I say COVID is a gift and a curse, right? It's a gift because people should be elevated in whatever you're doing. And it's a curse because we've lost so many family members and 225,000 people have died, and you still should be wearing masks. You still should be sanitizing your hands. You still should be doing these things and following the rules. At the end of the day. So on Sundays, 11 a.m. on my IG live, I do assets and liabilities. So I bring celebrity friends, guests on. I have my sister this week. My sister's dope. She's dope. She just got a law passed in Philadelphia to seal up evictions. So after a certain amount of years, if people get evicted, you can get a seal. So my sister helped pass that law. Wow. My sister has a record deal. She's a city planner. My sister's dope. She's fly. Woo! She owns land in Philly. She's building she took a school bus and made it into a tiny home. She's going to travel the country in it.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Oh, she's amazing. My sister's she's way smarter than me. Beyond.
She is active because I just got tired. I could pick two of those things. I'm not.
Yeah. She's dope. She's dope. So every Sunday, assets and liabilities. I just talk about people's journey in life, and then I ask a few financial questions in there. But a lot of my celebrity friends and people, we get a couple hundred, 200-300 people watch it every week, and I couldn't believe people were interested in what I had to say. But
of course.
I guess now I'm becoming a media guy, right? I need to be a manager. I gotta find out.
PR.
I gotta have your people talk to my people. Have your people talk to my people. I gotta do all of that.
I know you are not lying. That is so funny. And this is on your Instagram, right? So
on my Instagram live. It's just Malik Platts, Malik Platts, all one word. On my IG live. So every Sunday we'll do that, and it's fun. And I like the growth, and I'm just telling people, to not give up on their dreams and strive during COVID. And whatever you wanted to do in life, this is the time you should be doing it.
Yeah.
Period.
And
so
I like
if you wanted to go to
mentioned
school,
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's true. And as unfortunate as it is that so many people have lost their lives, we're still here.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good to mourn, but being too sad and too down and too weighed down, it doesn't do anything for the greater good of the whole. It doesn't add to society for you to just stay in the sadness.
Exactly.
So we have a duty to do as the people who've made it. So dive in, have some fun, do you, and help people.
And I'm down there. I'll be down there. I'll be in Dallas because we're looking at this kid that's going to the NBA. So I'll be down there. It's a tournament the 19th to the 22nd. But
I'm in H-Town.
Maybe I'll slide through Houston because I know a lot of people in Houston.
It's close. 45-minute flight.
Okay, definitely. I'll put it together.
Yeah.
But no, that's it, man. I'm boring.
No, this was great.
No, I know it was great because I was on it. I know.
You're damn right.
No,
all right,
definitely.
y'all. We gonna stop playing with y'all.
I know.
We'll talk on the phone. We'll text and we'll stick together. But I'll see you soon for sure. And thank you so much again. This was great.
Okay. All right. You have a great one. Okay.
All right. You too.
All right.
Peace.